Wow, everything went crazy all at once. Let's turn it all off. I don't know what happened there. I didn't hit anything. Welcome, welcome. It's like, well, I knew something was going to crash and burn. Let's hope that was it. Welcome to the chat. Lots of people in early. I was seeing a live on Twitter and YouTube jumping in. The Creator Classroom popped in, and I think she's come back. Ernesto Esperanza Jr., welcome, welcome. I don't normally stream on a Saturday. It's new for me. It feels different. It feels weird. I actually feel like I'm doing something wrong, because this is not my time to stream. This is normally the time I'm kicking back. I've got soft, comfy clothes on, and I am just chilling. I have like keyboard out, feet up, modding. That's my plan for a Saturday. It's Saturday night for me. So it's so good to see everybody. Marcus, it's so great to see you here in the chat. So awesome. So awesome. Okay, I made different things here for this chat. But anyway, I'm not gonna mess around. Doug is in the chat. He is the mod extraordinaire. Why are you streaming now? I know. I am streaming now because Nick Nimmin is already off on his intrepid travels on his way to Vid Summit, and you are about to go off on your intrepid travels. And I thought, why not? Honestly, why not? So I am here, and I'm going to stream, and I'm going to have fun with it. And, you know, why not have fun with it? So I'm also going to have fun with the comments and fix them up, because it is messing with me. I did change it to be white. So, yeah. There we go. Save, done. Next comment should be good. Doug leaves first thing Monday. Excellent. That's so nice and bright and early. Look, something I need you all to tell me: is the music too loud? Is the music too quiet? I don't have like a roadcaster or anything like that. So while I can hear the music on my end, it's just what's pumping through my speaker sort of levels. It's not the mix level. So if it is too loud, then you need to tell me, okay? Because I have no idea. I'm just enjoying the tunes. Doug says there's music. Okay, so it's too quiet is the answer to that. All right. Let's try that. There was music. Yeah. Oh, now there's like people. I'm so confused. Don't pump it up anymore. It's fine. Okay. All right. I'll drop it back down again. You guys, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Okay. Doug is everyone's moderator. Doug is an amazing moderator. And if you can get Doug to be your moderator, then you've made it. That's how I feel about it. Don't pump it up anymore. It's good. The music sounds good. We can't hear music, but feel free to sing. No, let's not. Don't go hard. I won't go hard. That's cool. You can hear the music now. Cool. All right, I'm going to leave it for a second because I know there's a delay. Is music really needed at all for the chat? Look, probably not, but it's late here. It is like 10:30 at night on a Saturday night, and my body's trying to tell me to go to bed. So I need the music for myself. So let me know if it's too loud, and I will sort it out. Okay, Doug is the number one mod. I agree with this comment. He is. And thank you. I do appreciate, oops, hang on, bring it back. I do appreciate that as well from Amazing Yacht Destinations. So let's jump in. If you've got any questions about YouTube or live streaming, please drop them into the chat. I would love to have a go at answering your questions. I have one thing I'm going to briefly talk about. I'm live streaming with Ecamm today because I'm a StreamYard girl. I love StreamYard, but there's one thing I can do on Ecamm that I can't do on StreamYard, which is actually bring in system audio, which means I can bring in music without the need for the heavy duty audio gear. So I don't have a roadcaster. I have a a Rode AI 1. So it's just a little one plug in kind of, you know, one XLR, one headphone, two little dials. That's it. That's all I've got. So being able to have some music, sometimes you need to have a look at like the options if you want to have it. We've got a question coming in here. Can you live stream and go live together at the same time? The answer is no. They're two totally different YouTube platforms. Go live together is actually a mobile only option, and it is for you and one other mobile user to go live together. You can't actually push that mobile feed out through YouTube Live again at the same time. There'd probably be some workarounds, like maybe bringing your mobile phone into another stream and bringing it on screen, but I don't know how the audio would go, and I actually don't understand why you would want to do that. So let me know in the chat why you would want to do both of those two things at the same time. You can also upload the music on stream. Yeah, but see, I've got really bad internet here. Like, I'm in Australia. They consider high-speed uploading at 40 megabits per second. And if you've got that, you do a dance. So why... I can't add to that load with the streamer, because every time I've tried to use either their music or add my own music there, it's actually created a really bad lag. So I don't use that feature on StreamYard just because of the upload speeds and the internet speeds that I actually have here. My sea prints, I don't like any music. The tink tink stuff, it gives me tinnitus. Rock stuff, okay, like Cube 2, okay. I think we all like different music. And I've got the Creator Mix playlist that I've created here. It's up in the top left, so you can see which song is currently playing off which album. There is one main reason why I do this. Well, there's two. One, it looks pretty, right? Let's not lie about it. It looks pretty. Number two, every now and again, the YouTube Content ID system has a snafu, and I get a copyright claim for using Creator Mix. I go in and dispute it, but I want to remove that song from my playlist for future streams so it doesn't get disputed again. And because I don't know the music well enough, I need to see that track name. So it's actually more for me, so that when I'm scrubbing through, I can actually see exactly which track I need to pull from my playlist for future streams. Let's have a look here. Jermaine says, I sometimes stream with StreamYard into Restream. I'm very curious as to know why you would put those two together. I would quite often stream using Ecamm into StreamYard or OBS into StreamYard, just because then I can bring all the comments and what have you on screen, and still get all the flexibility of being able to create all my layers and all my scenes and all that sort of stuff. StreamYard's definitely coming forward with the ability to be able to do all those layers and create your own custom scenes. But for my regular Thursday streams on my other channel, I've got like little pretty frames around things and all this sort of stuff. I still can't do that on OBS, on StreamYard just yet. So I can see why you would do that, but I am perplexed as to why you would go Restream and StreamYard together. They're very similar tools. I would love to know why you're doing that. My question is, what are you trying to accomplish? Now, I saw that come through when I was asking the question about why you would want to go live together and go live on YouTube at the same time. I don't know if that's a question for me or if it was a question for life on YouTube. It says that I can stream from Prism Live via mobile and stream from the laptop at the same time. Oh, okay. So there's a possibility you could create two separate streams into YouTube, but I thought you wanted to combine them together. So maybe, I don't know. I've never tried. I don't understand why you would want to do it, why you would want to be live in two instances at the same time. I would feel that there would be 2 chats that you would have to monitor, and while you're live streaming and monitoring 2 chats, that would be trickier. So I don't really understand the purpose. I would love to understand the purpose. Creator Classroom said, I found on my channel it's much easier without music. I tried for a while. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I don't put music on my regular Fiberific live streams. Different crowds prefer different things, and I love having the music for myself, but yeah, it's just a different choice. But I also love being able to use Creator Mix. I've actually created a playlist that's not just their lo-fi stuff, because I love the mix that they have. I love like these sorts of the Fury album and the Stomp album and things like that. So I wanted to make sure they're in there as well. But it could be distracting for people. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, tagging would be great, Doug. Tagging would be great. And here we go. You can have 2 separate streams going into your channel at the same time. I just don't understand why you would, honestly. It's stressful enough looking after one, right? Monique, welcome. It took me It took me longer than expected for that last break. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Oh, okay. All right, Doug. Excellent point. Linus has his 24/7 stream that goes for a live stream or the WAN show at the same time. Okay. I could see. I was just sort of thinking 2 short live streams where you're on camera for both of them, whereas the 24/7 is a tech tips. They're just replaying all their older content through their live stream. So yeah. Let me look. Okay, Jermaine's answering my question before about why you would go into both from StreamYard into Restream. And he says because StreamYard gives you a certain amount of time you can use on StreamYard. As for Restream, you can use it unlimitedly, if that makes sense. So I understand that. Why not just use Restream? Is there something in particular about StreamYard that you love? I would love to know. I love StreamYard. John Pullum, great to see you, John. Did you wear your hat? Oh, winter's coming for you. You've just had summer. Sorry, I'm backwards. So you're going to have your hat soon. I open Ecamm and use it in Zoom or StreamYard just so I can adjust my camera looks, zoom in if needed, if I need. Absolutely. It's one of these amazing things. You can absolutely click the use virtual cam and bring it in as a virtual camera into other software. It is one of those. Primal Video, Justin, thank you for jumping in. It's good to see you. It is bedtime for you, right? I got rid of my streaming set and now just have my set for my cooking channel. I was wondering if it was just Facebook not telling me that you were going live in the group anymore, or if it was that you had moved on to other things. I don't know. But I'm loving the cooking channel. The cooking channel is so fun. Where are we? Okay, so why use both Ecamm and OBS? Why not do everything from one and master that? That's a great question. So different softwares have different perks, benefits, all that sort of thing. I probably wouldn't go OBS into Ecamm and then stream personally. I find that Ecamm does allow you to do enough of the layering and the things that I like from OBS. But OBS has like a gazillion great plugins and attachments that you can use to hype things up, to do things a bit differently. And then the Ecamm benefits are that you can bring all the comments on the screen. So I'm not, there possibly isn't, I don't know if there's an OBS plugin for that yet. I wouldn't be surprised if there is one. I'm a little behind on OBS. But a lot of the advantages of using like OBS into, say, StreamYard, which has a lot less flexibility when it comes to creating your layouts and your scenes, makes it so that you can play with that better. Also, OBS has I found options for proper stingers and going into like transitions from one scene to the next. OBS has some really good grasp on that. But it really just comes down to how heavy duty you want your streams to be and what you want and how you want them to be. Like for me in this stream right here, I am just doing a single camera. Whereas my spinning live streams, I have 3 cameras. My fiberific live streams, I have 2. It depends on what you're creating and what the effect is, whether you want to jump in and add in the extra layers. Amazing Yacht says that there is a plugin for it. And it's called Chat Ninja. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've used OBS, honestly. I did not know that today was Doug's birthday. I have been living in a bubble today. So happy birthday to Doug. So we'll do some gold for Doug's birthday. Happy birthday, Doug. I would have to say I 100% agree with this statement. If I am bringing on a guest, I go StreamYard. I will ditch all the other bells and whistles. I will make sure that I'm just using StreamYard, because I find that usually, now I say usually because we had some glitches last week with Doug's live stream, usually StreamYard is better for guests. Not all the time. Doug's audio was not playing kindly, and it was StreamYard, it wasn't Doug's audio. So it's definitely one of those. It's great until it's not scenarios. I actually think it's a really good idea to become conversant in more than one live streaming software, because if for whatever reason, like say your computer system has an upgrade and your existing software can't play with that upgrade, are you going to not stream that day while you wait for your software to upgrade, or can you jump onto some other software and while it might be a little bit different, still interact with your audience? I'm that person. I'm that person who just feels that, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. If you don't know 2 ways to do something, do you really know how to do something? So, yeah, I like to have like multiple streaming softwares available to me, the ultimate easy, no bells and whistles StreamYard software is directly streaming to YouTube. So you've always got that option. It's 100% free. There's no stream time limits. If you're streaming from a desktop, there is no subscriber limits. If you are streaming from a phone, there is a 50 subscriber limit. But that's always that option, is to have that handy as well. So become conversant in more than one live streaming software if the live streaming plays a huge portion in your content creation. Let me look here. It was Doug not respecting the audio levels. Did you work it out, Doug? And he says, Justin had the same issue. Justin says that the second he enabled the auto echo cancellation, the audio issue went away. Crazy, as I didn't need echo cancellation. It's one of those things, being able to toggle off and on. I did some interviews on another channel where I was running a live interview session. So there was 24 guests in 6 hours, and they rotated in every 15 minutes. And some of them had audio issues, some of them didn't. And I found that if I just from the back end very quietly just toggled the echo cancellation off until the issue came back, and on when the issue came. I don't think it had anything to do with echo cancellation. I just think the act of changing the audio did something. I don't know. I'm not that technical, but it did the trick for me that time. Good morning, Home Rapid Repair. It's so great to see you. No, I'm not using StreamYard right now. I'm using Ecamm right now. And StreamYard, I can't have my music because I don't have Loopback, I think it is, which is the software add-on, and I don't have an audio mixer. I just have an audio interface. So I wanted to have the music, so I have gone this other route for the music. So yeah. Let me just check. No, because Happy Birthday is a copyright song. John, yeah. No, but Doug knows that we all appreciate him, and a big happy birthday, and I hope he had cake. So yeah. Oh, it is loopback. Thank you. I get the loop deck and loopback, like one's hardware and one's software, so I do mix them up. Yes, Ecamm is Mac only. Ecamm is Mac only. If you want vMix is a good option for PC. If you've got a PC and you want a, it's all done on your computer. So you put everything together and then stream it to the cloud. Not stream it to the cloud. Stream it directly to the destination. There's a catch. I'm only streaming to one destination, which is great. In Ecamm, if I'm streaming to multiple destinations, it doubles the upload speed. It actually sends it out as 2 separate streams. Whereas things like StreamYard, you're still only sending the one stream to StreamYard, and StreamYard do all the heavy lifting. So, or restream, but they do all the heavy lifting. So if you are multi-streaming or streaming to multiple networks, platforms, then maybe something like StreamYard is a better option if you don't have the good internet speeds. Oh, you're so engaging. Primal video staying up to watch you. Poor Justin. It's well past his bedtime. It's well past, but I very much appreciate him jumping in and supporting. He's always so supportive. He's off to bed. Good night, Justin. Have a great sleep. There we go. I can always tell when someone is using Ecamm over StreamYard based on how the comments look and if someone has rounded edges on the video. Absolutely. I love the rounded edges. As you can see, I've got rounded edges on everything. I like all the rounded edges. So yeah, it's definitely an option. Now, they only have a free trial. There is no free option with StreamYard, not StreamYard, with Ecamm, as far as I'm aware. Don't they have the Happy Birthday song instrument? They possibly do. I have not had a good dig through the YouTube music library. Life on YouTube is a Mac man, and he uses OBS to restream. Awesome. This is what I love. There's so many options. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just quite often curious about people's decisions to go the way that they've chosen. I, for a very long time, went OBS to StreamYard. And that was when I was on Windows. And then when I very first got the Mac, I was having some problems with one of my cameras and OBS and the Mac playing together. So I just went straight with StreamYard for a while and ditched OBS, changed my stream layouts and just ditched the OBS. And I kind of uninstalled it from this machine. I don't even have OBS installed. So yeah. So that's one of those things. It's one of the things. Oh, there we go. I'm learning some stuff. Happy Birthday's in the public domain now in the US and the European Union. If you ever come to the USA, I could sing it to him. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I do need Nick's Happy Clappy Birthday song. See, Nick would have played that for you because Nick's a better friend than I am. Oh, gosh. The Creator Classroom says, I tried 2 or 3 different things and StreamYard by far was the easiest for me to understand. See, that's one of StreamYard have 3 pillars, and one of their pillars is ease of use. They want it to be super simple and super easy so that you can just go live. You don't have to focus on the technical. You can utilize their system of just a couple of buttons to go live. And then the hardest thing you have to do is create your content and monitor your stream. You don't need to mess around with like all the technical sort of stuff at the back, which I kind of love personally. But I also love that there are options out there that you can be that person who wants the control over the minutia of your stream, all the way down to the person who's, I just want to go live, but I just need to press a button and go live. I think that's a really great option that there are so many choices for you to choose from. Home Rapid Repair says, I have StreamYard's Pro plan and 2 new webcams at a 60 frame per second. Do you know if StreamYard will stream in 30 frames to help with the internet speeds? I know that you'd be able to do 1080p. I don't think you get to control the frame rates. I think StreamYard will control the frame rate. There's a possibility that they will downgrade it to 30 frames per second. That'd be a good question for StreamYard, actually. yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, honestly. I also have the Pro plan and I love it. I love being able to bring in a second camera directly within their system. Let me look. Creator Classroom says, I have the Pro plan because I won a giveaway for a year back in December. That is fantastic. I love a good giveaway. I love a good giveaway. So, it's not in speaking of giveaways, but for those of you that are interested in trying out some of these different softwares, I have got some links in the description below so that you can go and check out StreamYard for yourself or Ecamm for yourself, and see if you prefer them or don't prefer them, if they work for your system. Obviously, if you're on a Windows machine, Ecamm's not going to work for you. It is Mac only, and they have zero intention of ever going to Windows. They are Mac focused. I am learning to love my Mac. I am a Windows girl. I like to be able to pull my computer apart and do upgrades myself person. I have a Mac Mini. The joke with my daughter is she's like, I actually think you have just as many Apple products as me now. And I'm like, no, I don't. And then she's like, you've got your Mac Mini, you've got your trackpad, you've got your Apple mouse, you've got an iPad, and you've got an old iPhone. And I'm like, I've just got some of those because they connect to the Mac Mini. Like, I feel like I have to defend myself. So yeah, it's definitely, I don't know how to describe my feelings for Mac. I don't know how to describe my feelings for Mac. Once you go Mac, you never go back. Look, I will say my next laptop will probably be a Mac. So yeah. I can get a really solid Windows laptop for like half of the price. But anyway, that's where my brain goes every single time. Do I really need it? The answer is yes. I want to do Keynote while sitting on the couch. That's basically what it comes down to. I am 100% a Windows person. In fact, back in the 90s, my computer lab person said, never, ever, ever use a Mac. You break them and we can't fix them. Yeah, but like there's places that can fix them for you. Doug says that with Ecamm, there is no Windows and no mobile or tablet. So it is Mac laptops and Mac computers, like Mac Minis and what's the Big Mac called? It's not a Big Mac. It's something else. iMac. I got it. I'm learning the Mac lingo. So yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, John says I even have Apple AirTags for my dogs. Oh, I love that. I love that a lot. That's pretty cool. It means you can't lose the dogs. So Doug's at work. He has a Dell running Windows and a Mac Mini. There you go. I've got a Windows laptop that I actually just unplug a hub and plug it into the Windows laptop. So I switch between the two. Yeah, back in the 90s, things were very different. Back in the 90s, I worked for Wang Computers. So things were very different. I was not a Mac person in the 90s. I'm just having a look. I literally went through 5 Macs in the lab. Actually had to close because they ran out of computers because of me. So Macs are not an option. I love that. That's so cool. So I was going to have a sip of my tea because I can. So something I want to have a little talk about this week that's happened to me. Well, it actually happened last week. I have a productivity stream that I run over on my live crafting channel that I do once a month, where we actually crank the music quite a lot louder, and I don't really talk a lot, and we all just get some work done. You could be folding, washing, you could be crocheting, knitting, whatever. It doesn't matter. You could be writing a thesis. It's just about getting something done with people around you. And I use Creator Mix for that. And I had 10 seconds of one of the songs got a copyright claim, except the claimant has claimed the full 3.5 hours of the live stream. And the reason I'm reminded is because this is Warner's Media Group has the claim, and it's all down to the YouTube copyright system telling them the wrong thing. I understand that, but at the same time, they could actually decide to only claim the 10 seconds. They don't have to claim the whole stream. Has anybody else here in the chat had an issue with the copyright, a false copyright claim? I've disputed it, but who knows what's going to happen there. So has anyone else here had a problem with that? And what did they do? And what did you think of that? I'm going to say I have no idea. I use my Windows laptop for gaming. I've got all my Steam stuff set up on that one. I was like, I'm going to separate work and play. So I went with that. So yeah, Mac Studio. Oh, there's two, Mac Studios and iMac. So there's like a Big Mac and a double Big Mac. Okay. Let me look here. I prefer to build and update my PCs. I bought a MacBook just for the Vellum program to format my books. I got my iPad because I wanted to join Clubhouse back when it was Apple only, and I don't regret it. Michael Sahovsky, it's great to see you. So good to see you. Yeah, Warner's Media Group, right? It's a total like woof, head to desk, because they don't care. They're just like, they get a notification, they've got a list of songs, and they just hit claim. They've got someone they've probably got a bot, I don't know. Someone is just clicking the button. And it's just totally one of those things where I don't think they even realized it was only a 10-second claim. So yeah. What is gaming? I know, like I played something, more than an iPad little time waster game, maybe a month ago, and before that was easily 6 months before that. So yeah. Yes, it is a Supernatural mug. My husband and daughter gave it to me for my birthday. So yeah, Supernatural fan. There you go. There's also the Mac Pro. See, I know nothing about Macs, right? I'm like happy with my little Mac Mini and just getting on with that, and go from there. Here we go. I had a copyright claim, not a strike, while using Epidemic Sound and fought them. At first, Epidemic said they wanted to keep the claim, but when I fought it again, they've released it. So you're a subscriber of Epidemic Sound and they claimed you. Was that on Shorts or was that on long form video? Just out of curiosity. Oh, you are. You're paying them to use their music. Yeah. Oh, I know. Doug, let's just like, it's okay, Doug. It's okay. Because Doug's done some stuff with it. Supernatural, I could watch that over and over. I do watch that over and over. Absolutely. It's always somewhere in the recycle. Absolutely. I've got the box set, so even if it's not on a streaming service I currently have, I don't need it. I don't need your streaming service. I have the box set. So, oh yeah, Shorts. Yeah. So, Doug, feel free to drop your link into your videos about Epidemic Sound and the Shorts copywriting and all that sort of stuff, please. I think John might find that quite interesting. Where are we? Yeah, Doug's going to have a little like, let's have a look here. I had one for a video from 3 years ago, so it was a 3-minute video about Easter. So had no edit on YouTube. Had to remove it from the YouTube download and remove the 3-minute video. Yeah, it's one of these things, like, because I'm really picky. Okay, so when it comes to using music, I will never use music from some, like, I don't even like using the YouTube music because I'm like, what if they change their mind and what if they pull it from the YouTube thing? Creator Mix has probably been the best free option that I've seen. I'm using it. I like it. But I was always a big fan of Epidemic Sound until they started in with this current, schmozzle. And I like grabbing tracks and what have you from things like Envato Elements or Storyblocks or any of those other options where you can pick a particular track that's like perfect for your video. I'll be very interested to see how this new YouTube music system works that they're slowly bringing out. that should be out next year, I think, for the music, where it can help you pick the perfect music. Like, I mean, you've got to type in some descriptors, but it'll help find the perfect tracks. I'll be very curious to see how many of the tracks it finds for you that are free to use versus part of their, you've got to pay for it, pay to play. So I'd be very curious to see. I've been using Artlist for my music since then, and Epidemic for my sound effects. Yeah, sometimes you just have to make some decisions just based on, do I have the energy to deal with this every single time? Usually the answer for me is like, no, I don't have the energy for that. Monique's up to season 14 again. I haven't gotten past 14. I know what happens in season 15, and I have never watched it. I have not watched it. I don't want to know I don't want to do it. Doug is leaving on Monday morning to hit Vid Summit. I am trying very hard to be the good supportive friend, but I'm actually ridiculously jealous. I desperately wanted to go this year, and then the stars did not align. So, and the airfares is what was the killer. Airfares from Australia to the US were hitting like the $3,800 to $4,000 return from Brisbane to Dallas. So it was a killer, really. It was a killer. In the season 15, it was good. Watch it, but I've never rewatched it. So yeah. Amazing Yacht is saying, I'm struggling to find the right music supply. Yeah, like it comes down to the kind of music that you want, how much you're willing to pay. Like there's a lot that plays into music. Music can totally set the tone and the theme for your videos. There's some really fun YouTube channels that actually change the soundtrack of movies to totally change like the feeling and the emotion in a scene, and it is hilarious. I can't think of the name of the channel. If I ever think of it, I'll share it. But it is just one of these really funny things where it's so important to get the right music. Let me look here. Oh, there you go. 18 hours to do your hair, so it's time for Supernatural. Absolutely. Definitely. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I agree with this statement. Airfares are an absolute rort out of Australia at the moment. It was very disappointing. Doesn't the Supernatural... Yes, it does. The Winchesters was... they just had one season. They were axed. Axed, is that the word? Not picked up for a second season, which was very disappointing. And then all the writers' strike, actors' strike, directors' strike all happened. And the timing was just really bad. So hopefully, once all this settles down, they're going to try and shop it around to another network, because I would love to see a second season. That end episode of that... Anyway, I could talk about this a lot. It's probably not at all related. It's like, you guys have found my, like, oh, shiny thing. I have a few of them. And you found one. Oh, yeah, CW... Yeah. They got rid of a lot of really good shows. So CW sold to another network whose name I can't remember, Nexstar, I want to say. And Nexstar just went, we don't want this kind of content, like ///. So they got rid of a lot of their scripted content. Yeah. Creator Classroom says, I don't think Jensen was able to get it picked up by another network. I don't think they've totally given up on it. I think the timing was really bad. And so I think they will try again down the track, but we'll see. Yeah, rip Arrowverse. Like, so much is gone. Next month, the plan is to get all my music and sound effects in separate folders with their invoice. Also, add in a copy of your copyright agreement so that it's just all there and handy if you ever need it. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Changing the soundtrack totally changes everything. It really does. And I'm one of these people that, like, because I love music, and having the little sort of it can perk up or relax or whatever. And that's one of the things I love about the Creator Mix music is I'll have it playing. I basically have this playlist playing all the time on my desktop when I'm working. And I'll notice the different paces that I work at depending on the different music. I don't know if that's just me or if that's everybody. I don't know. Michael Sahovsky said he was a little late coming today. Well, I'm glad you made it. I am. I think when a company comes in and slashes like that, it's a poor choice. If you're going to cut some, then next year make a full decision. Yeah, I don't understand how these companies work. And for me in my brain, like, I don't understand why you would buy an entire company who's like CW's specialty was scripted drama. And then they had a few other shows, which I don't even know what they were. But because I really only watched like Supernatural and Arrowverse and Kung Fu and like a couple of those sorts of things. Anyway, yeah, you buy this network and then you're like, I'll get rid of everything except for whatever this was. And you're just like, dude, was it worth paying for the whole thing to get that? I don't know. I don't know how it works. I have no knowledge of this industry whatsoever. So I don't know what the benefits are and the not benefits. Yeah. Example of that is CW used to be Warner Brothers, so when that came in, they didn't cut it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, there's ways to do things, there's ways not to do things. We could look at Twitter as a prime example of ways to do things and ways not to do things. Monique says that she's only watching Walker and the Winchesters over on CW right now. Yeah. Yep. I don't even... Do I have access to anything to play CW in Australia? I don't think I do anymore. I think I did and then cancelled it after I watched what I wanted to watch. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time. So my question for everybody watching, and I really want to thank you guys for jumping in and joining me here, is how many of you currently regularly live stream on your channels? Like, just write me in the chat. If you currently regularly, it doesn't have to be like every week, but like if you do a once a month or there's a specific schedule for your live streams, let me know. That sounds like a lot of fun, Michael. I would love to do that. So yeah, let me know when and we'll work out time zones. Doug live streams regularly. Glad to see that, Doug. Yep. Creative Classroom says me, but not so regular. Home Rapid Repair says I want to live stream, but I have not pulled the trigger yet. My question is, what is stopping you? What is making it so you don't go live? I'm always really curious to know, because I've been live streaming regularly, like weekly live streams now for about, I want to say 6 years. It's probably 7 or 8 years because my COVID years blend together. But I've regularly live streamed once a week on average, like unless I'm sick, there's reasons to not. And I'm always curious as to know what stops people from live streaming versus what makes them record VOD or shorts instead. I'm always very curious about these things. Life on Twitter says I like to try every 3 to 4 days. That's great. Jermaine says I sometimes live streams on my other channel. Yeah. And like I've got 2 channels. So I know what it's like to sort of have, having to talk about multiple channels. I live stream 2 services at church Sundays. Awesome. That's great. I actually, like, just off topic, I bought the Supergirl DVDs, so I'm going to watch those that way. I like holding my media. So Home Rapid Repair says it seems intimidating compared to pre-edited videos. And I can see that. I can see how it would be intimidating. I know for me that today I have definitely I've been a little stressed about this stream, because while I'm more than happy to stream with Doug on these sorts of topics or have guests on and stream about these sorts of topics, I realized I have never streamed on this channel on my own and talked tech and talked live streaming and talked YouTube and things like that. So I was a bit nervous today. I was like excited but nervous. And it's just, sometimes I just have to sort of like that's why I made a cup of tea. I took a deep breath and I was just like, okay. The worst that, you know, if it turns into a train wreck, you can hit end stream and you can walk away and you can delete it and it is over. I would say that if you are really wanting to, but you're a bit nervous about it, depending on the software that you're using, you can actually record your live stream rather than send it out to the world. So you can get comfortable with the software. You can get comfortable with talking directly to you, to your camera, without sort of it being live to the world. The other option would be to do it unlisted live, do an unlisted live stream. So it goes to your YouTube channel, but unless you share the link, no one knows it's there. So even if you're using the direct YouTube software or other softwares that don't allow recording, you can go live directly to YouTube, have it unlisted or have it private. No, I think you only unlisted. Have it unlisted, and you can record that way or go live that way, and then you can go back and watch it and you can take some notes. But I would say if you're doing that, when you're taking the notes, don't forget to give yourself some grace. This is the first time you've done it. It's new technology. It's a new feeling. It's a new way of doing something, and conversing with knowing you can't edit something is always a little different. Like, I have a stutter, so I have to really consciously think about not stuttering. Well, actually, I have to try not to think about stuttering at all, because when I think about it, it sometimes happens. So, and then when I'm really tired or emotional, or like there's other things that sort of increase the chances. So live streaming for me was really nerve-wracking, because I'm like, am I just gonna get stuck and not be able to like get words out, or am I gonna like just sit there because when I stutter a whole word, so I'll just keep saying the same word over and over again until I sort of stop and continue on, like with a different word usually, and it's not the same word that gets me sometimes, because my brain just hiccups. So I had this like fear that I was just going to do this live like all the time. It happens every now and again, but it doesn't happen all the time. And so I was so stressed out about stuffing it up. I didn't do it. And then once I started doing it and slowly started building this amazing community over on Fiberific, and now you guys as well, it's like every Thursday over on the Fiberific channel, it's like sort of hanging with people that you recognize and that, you know, it's very comfortable. It's very relaxed. I don't stress before it. But it took a little while, even with people talking about something you're super passionate about, to sort of relax into it a little. So my advice is just to give it a little try. You don't have to be live and public at the same time. So I'm going to scroll back in the chat, because I got a little emotional about that one. Too late for my audience. I can hang like you, Doug, and the Nimmons. I can't hang. Well, I mean, for me, like, this is, where are we at now? We're at like 20 past 11 p.m. on a Saturday night. Nick normally runs till like 2 a.m. my time, but I have a nana nap. I have a little nap in the afternoon so I can make it. Otherwise, I wouldn't make it. Absolutely. The worst that you can, yeah, sometimes you can do things where you'll crack yourself up, and you'll just be laughing a lot. Absolutely. Yeah, like, the worst that can happen is you say a word wrong, realize it, absolutely lose it on camera with laughter. Oh wait, that happened to me and it was fine. I may look at live streams slightly different than other creators. Okay, so I look at live streams as a way to connect with your audience, the way to build a community. So my goal is for you guys to be friends with each other and chat with each other as well as with me. Like, I obviously want to be included because, you know, I'm needy. But being able to watch you build a community where you all know each other. Like, I'm looking at these names in the chat and I recognize you from from Doug's and from Nick's streams. And you guys are chatting with each other and you're learning things about each other that aren't YouTube necessarily like. We know who's into Supergirl and Supernatural and the Winchesters and who knows about these things, because we're not just a one-dimensional being. We do have multiple interests. So learning about some of this other stuff within the chat. So I look at live streaming as a way to facilitate community. And for me, community is key. You can have a small audience and a small community and still have a thriving business. You don't have to get massive and huge to make sales. You don't have to go crazy big. And sometimes it's not about making the money on YouTube. There's lots of different reasons why we're all here. But having a small core community that you're looking forward to seeing every week in a live stream can really help you just to keep going. Thank you for the advice. I want to try an unlisted stream within the next week and test and see how it feels. The only way you're going to know if it's something that you can do is try it. Absolutely. I stutter sometimes too. I know exactly what you mean. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and the other thing, like I just was thinking, home rapid repair, if you do this little test live stream and it's solid, you could actually release it and have it on your channel. It's not gone. If you do a test unlisted live stream and you're happy with it, you can totally just hit public. And then people can come in and watch it later. And then people will be like, oh, I missed this as a live stream. You'll be like, oh, no, you know, I created it and then released it. It's definitely a thing. Oh, Doug. I just found a copyright match in my copyright menu. It's from Chantelle's channel. Don't you strike that. Just saying. Don't, please. I have the same with a co-stream I did with a friend. I'm obviously just ignoring it. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes. I'd be nervous interviewing you and Doug because of your caliber of stardom you both have. Oh, no. We're just people. We're just normal, everyday people who hit go live all the time. I only have 3 people who regularly vote to my streams. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Couldn't find the mute. Can't find the mute button fast enough. Sorry about that. So her real reply says, I only have 3 people who regularly vote to my live streams. I've been live streaming for about 3 months. Okay. So are you live streaming at a time that suits your audience or at a time that suits you? There's always that option as well. Like for me, I picked a time that suited me, and I knew that was going to be a bit more difficult to gain traction and audience, especially in sort of European countries, because I stream at 10 a.m. Brisbane time, and having that does, like, I can still pick up the afternoons and evenings for the US, but I can't pick up Europe. So you've got to sort of think about the times, like, are they at work? Are they around? Are you picking a time? Thank you, Creative Classroom. Are you picking a time that suits you? Like, sometimes you have to think of these things. Like, Doug streams at 9:50 p.m. or 10:50, I should say, 10:50 p.m. on a Saturday night. I don't know if that's always the best. Like, he might want to be sleeping. But it's the time that the audience is getting up in the US. So you've kind of sometimes got to think about these things as well. And absolutely 3 is better than none, for sure. For me, it's because I'm a full-time teacher and have 3 kids. I stream at 9 p.m. Yeah, so it may just take some time for you to build that audience who are coming in at the same time as you. You got to remember that YouTube is a worldwide sort of thing. It's not just for the US only. And I do sometimes, I'll hear people talk about different laws and different rules. I'm like, I'm in Australia. I have to follow Australian law and the YouTube American laws at the same time. So sometimes I will not do something because I can't make it work between multiple laws. So remembering that YouTube is has an international audience, you may not be able to get your local people at 9 p.m, but you might be able to pick up another country. So having a look at your offering, having a look at what your thumbnail is, what your title is for your live stream, seeing how that can relate and come back to maybe some people that are a bit broader than the US. I don't know, probably an option. Hello from Germany. Kemmer's Chicken Coop. I've probably said that wrong. I'm sorry if I have. Welcome to the chat. You're in Germany, so you cater for a European time zone, and that makes total sense. Is your channel in English, or do you use German in your channel, or both? I'd love to know that as well. Monique says, that's my issue. I'd have to stream at, yeah. And like when I was setting up, like deciding whether or not to stream in this time slot, I'm like, with both Nick and Doug out for the count, I could have a Saturday night off. I could totally just kick back on the couch and watch TV and knit something or crochet something, right? Because I can't sit and not craft. But I didn't. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing. Like, so today I have a craft group that I run, and it runs on the last Saturday of the month. So it was today. So that ran from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. nearly. I come home, had a little nap, got up, and now I'm with you. So sometimes you have to make these decisions. But the other thing is, if you do just decide to do it at a time that's convenient for you, it's not to say it's not going to grow. It just might take a little longer. That's all. 3 months in YouTube time is not that long. I'm going live on October the 4th. I know it won't be my regular time. It's not a Friday. It's not the regular time, but it's the day Canva is releasing a lot of new features. So that's a great reason to go live. Absolutely. Because you've got a huge Canva audience, and being able to bring that out at that time, that's fantastic. I live in Germany, but okay. So you live in Germany, but you're a natively English speaker. Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, that makes it easy as well. You and Doug are the stars of Creative Breakfast. No, Doug is the star of Creative Breakfast. Creative Breakfast is Doug's baby. I just come in and visit and play every now and again. Oh, that one's not for me. Let me look here. Chantelle's secret is she knew there would be a solid 10 to 12 people here for a while and would get us some decent watch hours. I'm not going to lie. That is part of it. Like, seriously, this is a new channel for me, so it's not monetized. I'm in Australia, so I don't have access to fan funding. So if you are new here and you haven't been here before and you want to learn about live streaming and YouTube, please click subscribe. And hopefully I'll be making some more content that you will enjoy. It's a new channel, so being able to have you here is helping. I'm not gonna lie, it's totally helping me out. I've just live streamed my chicken coop from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's just a bit of fun. Do you have audio? Because I miss my chickens so much. I used to have chickens, and I would live stream, like I would do live dye sessions. So I would dye yarn live, out on my back patio. And the chickens would walk through and the microphones would pick the chickens up. So I actually will go back and watch those old live streams just to listen to my chickens. I definitely need to check out your channel. I would love to use some weekend time to stream, but my weekends are so unpredictable. Yeah. And this is the thing, right? You don't have to stream every week. There's no like must stream every week. You could stream once a month. You could choose one weekend a month that's going to be your streaming weekend. Block it out in your calendar. That's your streaming section. And because you're only blocking it out once a month, you can work around it easier. If you're trying to block it out every single week, it's a bit harder. So, you can definitely work on some things. Thank you for streaming today. It's a bit strange not seeing Nick on my Saturday morning. I agree. It feels weird I'm not modding. I keep going to you know, just hands on the keyboard. Because like when I'm modding, I focus on the chat and on my keyboard. I don't really, I mean, I listen to Nick, but I watch the chat like a hawk. So yeah, it is definitely. Oh, thank you. I definitely appreciate that, Gemma's Chicken Coop. Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, I just had a little chicken for breakfast. Oh my gosh. I have the Australian chicken breed Australorps. Oh, me too. They're fantastic. They're great chickens. And they've got such personality. Chickens have got personalities, you guys. Chickens have personalities. I remember, just to digress, because, you know, welcome to my chat. This is what I do. I remember quite a few years ago, I was in a Discord server chatting with John Prosser and a couple of his mates. And I was my first time there, and I didn't realize, I was like, how did I get an invite to this? I'm going to go, but I don't know how I got an invite to it. Anyway, so I jumped in. This was ages ago. This was before John got huge. And I was sort of sitting there, and I'm being very quiet. I'm just listening, really. And my microphone was live, and I had a chicken at my back door, which is only about, 6 or 8 feet from where I was sitting. And one of my chickens was making the chicken noise. She was sitting at because my chickens were like, if you left a door open, they would totally try and come in the house. They were evil. And so she would just sit there, and just make the chicken noise, which I'm not going to do. And then all of a sudden everyone was like, what was that? And I'm like being really quiet because I'm trying to listen to, because I'm like, what was that? And then it happened again, and it was my little icon. So my mic was picking up the chicken, and it was just, I'm like, oh, sorry, that's my chicken. And they were just like, oh my God. And it just turned into this whole like, say this, because I was the only Australian in the chat. And then so I had to grab a photo of the chicken and share that. And it was just it just became a thing. And now every time I think about chickens in the internet, that story always comes back to me every single time. Yeah, maybe they should be called I Digress, because yeah, it will absolutely happen. I'm like, shiny thing, Gamer Widows. It's so great to see you. Game Widows joins in the Fiberific. She knows all about making me digress. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to read any of those chicken chats. Yes, they are very docile and amazing egg-layers, and you can just pick them up and carry them around. They don't mind being carried. So yeah, it's just one of those things. YouTube journey, but I digress. I love that a lot. Oh my goodness. Wow. So those of you that are here, some of you, I know you've got great channels and you're going great guns, and some of you are tentatively stepping. What is your next step? So everyone has a next step. What is your next step? Are you planning on increasing your content, changing up your style, rebranding, live streaming, pulling back on something? Like, what is your next step that you're planning for your YouTube journey? So for me, I made a decision a few years ago when my Fiberific business was very busy. I made a decision to stop pre-records. I didn't want to give up the live streams. I had to choose between live streams and pre-records. I needed the hours back so that I could be packing and shipping orders. So I made this decision to stop my pre-recorded and VODs. And it was great. Like getting all that time back, all the research, the shooting, the editing. I gained a whole pile of time back into my week that I could divvy out for other work. And it made a huge difference. It also made an enormous difference to my channel, and my growth just slowed right down. It's not to say that I didn't continue to grow on YouTube with just by doing live streams, but it slowed the channel growth down by easily over 2/3. So, but I kept at it. I needed that time so badly that I didn't go back on that decision. In the last month or so, I've made the decision to get those back on the table again. I had to make some new business decisions because as life changes, it swings and roundabouts, things happen. So I'm putting those back on the table. I'm bringing the pre-records back to that channel. I'm going to be bringing pre-records to this channel more regularly. And I'm not committing to a particular number. I have a number in my head, but I'm not publicly committing to either just yet. I'm just trying to get back into the habit. So that's what I've decided and what I'm going to be doing. Destinations is going to start making videos again. That is awesome. That is great. Do you have a date when that first video will be back out, or are you still deciding? October is weird for me because a couple of weeks ago I found out Canva was adding some new features. So I made the decision to stop filming and editing until those are released. Yeah, especially if some of those features really make it so the content that you make is kind of not just so much out of date, but could be incorrect. It's probably not a bad idea. I would probably still consider adding some shorts of just you doing something, just so to keep the momentum, but not just the momentum for your channel, but the momentum for you as a content creator. It's very easy to get out of the habit. I need to put more content each week. I'd like to put out 3 shorts a week. John, what is stopping you from doing that? Are you finding that the amount of time, because your shorts are very high energy? So is it the time of your shorts? Is it the content of your shorts? And do you think that that's going to be doable for you with all your other commitments? Creative Classroom says, I do have videos already scheduled for the 2nd and 3rd week. Then I have 3 others that are scheduled but maybe moved. That's a good idea. So you can always double check if they're still valid, and you've got the opportunity to go in and tweak and edit if need be, and then you could still get a good video with something you've mostly done already. 2 longs, 2 shorts a week. Need to batch ahead to be prepared for trips. That's a big one, isn't it? Like when you're traveling and when you've got to do a lot of stuff, keeping that happening without putting yourself onto a hamster wheel. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. I love that you're planning ahead for those trips. I just made a few shorts and videos a week about the chickens. My live stream of the chicken coop is the main thing. Have you, like when you're making your shorts, are you making the shorts from the content from your live streams? Are you in any way repurposing anything out of the live streams? Or is it just like extra content or other things that you'll be doing? Yeah, Game Widows was in the chat. I watch live stream chickens. I'll watch live stream chickens. Used to love watching Chantelle's chickens. Yeah, they would just come around and boss around all over the place. It's hilarious. People watch the live stream from all over the world, especially from India and Vietnam. It's one of those things you don't realize. It's kind of like, I mean, I like watching, the lawn mowing videos and like the edging videos. I know it's bizarre, but I find them oddly satisfying. I think it would be like that for the chicken coop stuff as well. I really do. I think it would be that. Typically, I'd agree getting out of a routine is bad, but I also didn't feel well this week, so I made the decision to basically take a home vacation for my physical and mental health. And this, I would like to pin this. I would like to pin it. Pin, comment, pin it. Thank you. It's not letting me do it. Come on. Press the button. Wow, that took way longer. And I don't know why my music just changed then. Wow. All right, I'm going to end the music because that is not my playlist. So that's bad. Let us drop that out of there. Why did that change? Maybe I got to the end of the playlist and it just didn't start again. All right, let's see what we can do. See, stuff happens all the time. It was the lyrics that was like, hang on a second, I heard a person talk. All right. trying to think of things that would be visually funny, interesting, and I want to give each one 100%. It's amazing how much work goes into 15 seconds. Oh, I actually think for me, I don't know about you, John, can you see that I can't put a thought together in 15 seconds? The thought of trying to create fast-paced, amazing content and squish it into 15 seconds. I don't know how you do it, honestly. So, yeah, and you don't want to put out crap. Exactly. Because every time you make something, it needs to be mindful of the time of the person watching it. Absolutely. The shorts, hang on a second. The shorts and videos are just extra content. Okay. Tim the Lawnmower Man. Yeah, absolutely. Let's name that channel. I'm not sure. Did it change the order here? It probably did. Drain clearing, lawn mowing, rug cleaning. What is it with rug cleaning? Those ones where they roll the rug out. And anyway, I like those too. So yeah, it's definitely. I have to go watch some shows so I can film some reviews. Thank you for spending some time to help us. Her real review. I'm glad you could make it. Enjoy the shows. I personally don't watch Walking Dead, but maybe her real review does. I don't know. I honestly thought there would be more live streams of chicken coops. Not many. There's a couple of channels out there that maybe do sort of more like homesteading and farming and sometimes include chicken coops, but I don't know of any live streamers that regularly stream their coops because I don't know. I hate shorts because I speak too slow for fast videos. For me it's like I just can't put a sentence together. So, when I thought of my channel, I figured it would be 2 to 5 minutes. When Daryl suggested I do shorts, I didn't know how I could get it down to 60 seconds. Now I have a hard time making it longer than 15. Well, and because that just means you've really dialed in your workflow. Like, that's your goal, right? There's a second part. And making it entertaining. Sometimes it doesn't need to be longer than the 15 seconds to get the points across. It's very interesting. Like some of the data of which of like the lengths of shorts are the most popular. I find it very interesting because it's very dependent on the niche. It's very dependent on the niche. Those Daryl Eve interviews were wild. That man seems to know it all. He does. He knows so much. How's the knitting going? The knitting's always going great. There's always something being created. Right now, I'm crocheting 4 different blankets. I'm knitting 2 different tops and a pair of socks. So that's what's currently in the pile to work on. Still not to switch niches. Yachting is a high barrier entry. Everything needs to be perfect. For who? Like, it all needs to be perfect for you or perfect to the viewer? Because the reality of yachting is that sometimes crap happens, right? There's so many things you don't have control of when you're out in the ocean. You don't have control of the wind or the weather or the waves or the water. So why does it all have to be perfect? So I mean, I haven't watched your channel. I don't know what kind of content you're putting out, but I think that having the thought in your head that it has to be perfect, it's always going to hold you back. Because are we ever ready to say this is perfect? I don't think that anything I've put out has ever been perfect. I actually put a video out on my Fibrific channel this week where I recorded it before I replaced one of my cameras. I had an overhead 4K webcam that died, and I'd actually used it to record this video, and I didn't realize that until I was watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, this footage is unusable. Like, I can't reshoot this. I no longer have what I was shooting. I can't reshoot this. And so I had to sit down and have a good talk with myself about how can I salvage it enough so that the salient points come across, the important factors of why I was making this video come across. So I was able to, because I still had parts and bits and pieces of what I was doing, so I was able to get some little shots, little like just photos and B-roll, like just a little sweeping B-roll shot. And I majoritively used, that's the second time I've used that word today, and it's actually not a word. The majority of content that I used was this overhead shot that I was not satisfied with, but I was able to add in B-roll and able to edit it in a way that it was less crap. I'm going to go with, because I felt like it was crap. So sometimes just getting it out there is enough, and people appreciate that as well. Are any of your channels monetized? Yes, Fibrific is monetized, has been monetized for 5 years, I think. Yeah. And the answer is no. I don't knit for other people. I knit for gifts, but I don't knit to sell, and I don't normally knit requests. The viewer in general, my gear is not as great as other people's gear. You know what? You don't need great gear. You are on a yacht. You need some sort of active camera like a GoPro or something like that, and a mobile phone. You need small little cameras that are not going to, die if they go overboard, and just stick something on them so that they float, some sort of buoy if you knock them over. You're creating content for a different thing. You don't need the high-end gear. You need to practice with what you've got, and then down the track, once you've made some content, once you've hit the limits of what the gear is that you have, then you can make a decision. Do I need a new camera? Like, I had this camera, I had a different camera, I had this guy up here. Every 30 minutes it would time out, and I'd have to click a button because it had a 30-minute timeout on it. And I used that camera for live streaming for years. Before I was like, okay, I've saved up for a new camera, finally. And it was a thing. I actually made merch that was like, it had like my little face box it was black with just face cam and exclamation marks, because the chat actually was like, every time that camera went off, the chat would just like fill with face cam. And so I would like reach over and turn it back on. I'm like, thanks. It can become a thing. It can become a thing. Here we go. Perfection shouldn't be expected. Nothing is perfect. Done is better than none. Not perfect. You want to be relatable depending on your exact niche. And I understand, especially for the Amazing Yacht Destinations, who you feel that sort of yachting is a more higher echelon thing. So they are expecting a higher level of service as such. But I mean, I know some yachties who are really down to earth and like just super people who yacht because they love the ocean. It's not because of the grandiose rest of it. And I think they would love content that showed their side of life as well. It depends on what you determine as a yacht. I sail a Heron and a Pacer and they're yachts. Dad has a 12-foot trailer sailor. Super yachts and fancy ravers are another type. There you go. Fancy racers. Yes. And yeah, a comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare your gear to other channels. This is something I had to remind myself of over the years, because I work with other creators. So while I have my small channels, I day job it with other companies and other creators. So I had to really hone it in on myself that I could not expect for my personal channels and my content to hit the same way as a channel with 1.5 million subscribers, or a channel with 400,000 subscribers, or a channel that's been running since 2007 versus mine that started in 2016. They hit differently. You need to compare your beginning to someone else's beginning, not compare your beginning to their middle. So I would have a play with what you've got. So I would absolutely have a play with what you've got, and you may be surprised at the quality of the videos that you can put out. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Because what is it? You've got to get your 1,000 subs plus, I want to say 90 million views in, no, 10 million views in 90 days. Is that right? That's how it works for shorts channels. So, I mean, at least now you've got the option to monetize a shorts channel without watch time, I suppose. Yeah. My channel used to be faceless. Why I didn't have a camera I could use for videos. I bought a webcam because it was in the budget. If I waited until I got the camera I have now, I'd never have started. Absolutely. That's the thing. I started way back when. I started with a Logitech C920. And what was the other one? It was a step down from the C920. So the C920 was the face cam. And then the other one was like, it was dodgy. It was bad. This is back in 2017, I think. I was also live streaming from a Surface Pro 4 that I was told you should never live stream from. Well, to that, I worked around that. So, yeah. Even if you get the shorts channel monetized, you won't get a lot from AdSense. Yeah, absolutely. It's shorts money is not great at this stage. It's still new. I still consider shorts in beta. So, you know, it's one of these things. It could pick up. It could get better. It could, you know, you never know. You're like in the big city. I need to refresh that screen. It's being naughty. I got it. I did. I got there in the end. I got there in the end. Goodness me. Let me jump in here. There we go. So, yeah, I personally have a massive passion for live streaming. And helping people live stream for the first time and helping them build their confidence in their live streaming. Helping them work around with what they've actually got. You don't need, you know, a capture card and a mirrorless camera to live stream. You just don't. It's a nice to have, and if it suits down the track, then go for it. But it doesn't have to be where you start at all. Doug's written in here, you can plug webcams and capture devices into certain your iPads now with iPad OS 17. Yeah, I heard that. It's a very interesting way to go about it. And being able to have the fancier camera at the better eye level than where your iPad is. So, at the end of this, you should share on the community tab how many watch hours you got from this stream. Oh, yeah. If that's something that would interest you, I'll happily share that information for sure. Absolutely. Not many apps are updated for it. No, I went to trial it. I went to test it when I updated my iPad to iOS 17. And I couldn't find many things that would utilize it. So, yeah. It was, and this is the thing, right? Like, was it last week, Doug? When we multi-streamed, I received, like, we were just testing it out. Neither of us had multi-streamed before, so we thought, why not? YouTube's letting us do it. StreamYard makes it easy. Let's give it a try. Neither of us had done it, and I ended up with like 8 hours of watch time on the channel I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't have, you know. And like 8 hours isn't nothing, you know. You've got to get 4,000 watch hours in 365 days, sure, but 8 hours is still 8 hours. Now, that was there was a much smaller group on last week than there is this week, so who knows what I'll get. I won't know until I hit end stream, and I'll take a screenshot. I'll totally share that. Because like a really great way to push towards monetization. Now, I'm in Australia, so we don't have access to fan funding here. So I need the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. That's my lowest point that I can monetize this channel. Now, in my description below, I have I have added in some of my affiliate links because I do have affiliates. I have added in a buy me a coffee. So if you were so inclined and you wanted to sort of super chat, but I can't accept a super chat, you could totally do that. There's other ways to work around it before your channel is actually monetized, and all these things will still work after your channel is monetized. So you don't have to sort of put everything on hold until the channel is monetized. You can slowly learn and build and improve and work out what the audience for this channel is looking for, and make it what they want. It was another reason why I decided to go live. The channel was way over 1K subs, but the watch hours were lacking. Yeah. Yep. What about buy me a coffee? As you say, I'm not quite sure what this means. I've got a buy me a coffee link in the description, so you can make a direct donation if that's what you want to do. Buy me a coffee is a really great option for those that can use it. It's definitely a way to sort of check it out. I mean, you could go and test the link to double check it works. Like, that was, anyone who was in Doug's stream last week will know what I'm doing there. Yeah, add in those affiliates. Absolutely. Buy me a water, your website. If you have product, I've put my website in. And I actually have one-on-one services that I provide. They're not all on the website, but there's a way to contact me to ask if what you want is something I can do. Also, I have an extensive tools page on my website. And if you scroll right down the bottom of that, I've actually got my kits from kit.co that have listed out exactly what I'm using for my live stream right now, and what I've used in the past, and what worked, and and I've put little blurbs on each thing. There's definitely ways that you can go around and do things before your channel is monetized. Yeah, but buy me a coffee is a great option for those not yet in YPP. Absolutely. I think I was saying use buy me a coffee instead of fan funding. Oh, he typed it before I said it. Okay, all right. Yep, absolutely. Do I get a notification? Look, I probably get an email. I've only ever had one person do it, so I'm just going to open my emails and double check. Someone bought a coffee for the greatest co-host of all time. Wow. I think I know who that was from, Michael. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So yes, I do get it. I get an email, but I don't have any way to bring that into the streams at this stage. I mean, I could set it up, but I was not expecting anyone to actually do it. So, I appreciate you. Thank you. For those that love numbers, essentially you need 330 watch hours each month for 12 months to reach the 4K watch hours. Was it 330? I thought I did some math. I've got my calculator out. So 4,000 divided into 12. Oh, it is 330. Yeah, there you go. For some reason I thought it was a little more. And I do think of it, when I was first trying to monetize my Fiberific channel, I would actually keep track of it and try and work out how many hours a week I needed in my live streams to do it. I mean, I could do this. I could be like, I love it. I love getting my buy me a coffee, because I also love coffee. So that is great. I didn't make these overlays. These were a gift from a course that I did. I've been learning how to make overlays. I've got one that I made that I use on my other channel. Where is that guy? There you go. I made this one. So I could make an overlay for buy me a coffee. I just don't have a way to bring it in automatically yet. Oh no, like Michael, I appreciate all the coffees. Oh, buy me a coffee has a stream alert that you can add. See, Doug, I should have talked to you. I'll have a look when I get up the courage to make videos eventually. Just not sure if I have much to say. I mean, like Game Widows, you make things, right? You make beautiful stitch markers, you make all your bags. I would go and check out, if I was you, some of the sewing channels and bag making channels. You can actually just show like little bits of footage without doing a tutorial. You could make shorts and other things and test it out and see if you like it. So yeah. But yeah, it's definitely something that takes practice and it takes time. And sometimes there's just something, each person has that one thing that just tips them over the edge that goes, I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. For me, it was somebody had asked about how to do something, but I had so many questions for them that it was just easier just to go live and do it live. And that's how we started. But yeah, it's definitely, oh, there we go. My phone just, wow, Doug, thank you. Doug just sent me 3 coffees. I appreciate you, Doug. I don't know why I didn't get a watch alert for Michael's coffees, but I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, I thought my phone started doing something then. It was just a change in song. It's all good. Oh, there we go. That's a great idea. Like you've got your 12 hours a day that you need to have for your views. Oh, sorry. It's what do you guys work it out to? It was 11 hours a day. And if you make 12 hours a day, it'll keep you ahead. So that's a great idea. Sometimes breaking something down makes it more palatable. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's the same with YouTube. What is the one thing that I can do to get started? What is the one thing that I need to just make that step, work it out, and understanding that waiting for monetization is not a reason to wait. There's so many alternatives to that. Sometimes, and this is going to sound really harsh, okay? Sometimes you don't deserve monetization. Like the videos that you're putting out, you're a learner. You're learning how to do something. You're learning how to engage an audience. You're learning how to make thumbnails. I mean, as a YouTube creator, you are constantly on a learning journey, and you need to understand you're never going to get to the destination. Everything changes. Everything moves. But right at the beginning, like if you guys went back and had a look at my beginning fiberific videos, please don't. They are dreadful. They are bad. There was no way that those videos deserved to be monetized. So I needed to just understand that, and I was making my content for a different reason. But when I went in with the fiberific channel, I always had a different reason. It was to advertise and make tutorials of products that I sold. That was my initial push for why I was making them. The very first video was somebody had asked if something was possible to do with these tools, and I said yes, and they said I don't believe you. So I made a video doing what they said couldn't be done. So it was one of those things. So understanding that your first beginner videos are likely to be trash pandas. They're likely to be dumpster fires. It's a learning process. So, you know, allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to go, okay, you know, that angle is dreadful. What can I do to fix that angle? Does it need to be better lit? Does it need to move? Like what? And change that one thing and test it. Make another video. Is that one still a dumpster fire? No. That thing that annoyed you is gone now. Great. You know, there's little things. There's little tweaks and little changes can actually change so many things. Let me have a look in the chat, because you guys are chatting heaps and I really appreciate you keeping me company. You could do time lapse of what I'm doing. Absolutely you could. You've seen how I will make little shorts of just a project that I'm working on. Oh, like I've got this thing right here. Hang on. Where is it? It's in this drawer. Come out, wherever you are, this thingy. Right? I can see the cord. I don't like that. So this is just a little Tellison neck mount, right? Now, I stole its little thing for a job I was doing. Let's put it back together. So if you're doing point of view work, if you're doing crafts, creatives, what have you, this little Tellison neck mount is great. You just like clip it on like a necklace. I just whack the microphone. Clip it on like a necklace. Right? and you can adjust it. It's got like a little GoPro mount on it. You can adjust it to however you want it. Like if you want a landscape, if you want it vertical for shorts, which is what I normally do. And then I just get comfortable on the couch with my knitting, and I'll just knit, and I'll make like a 60-second video, cut it back. And it's like $30 from Amazon. So it's not an expensive piece of gear, and it means that you've got something attached firmly to your body that you could be wearing for point of view shots. So, and it's not an expensive thing, and you stick your phone in it, or a GoPro if you've got a GoPro. I don't have a GoPro. Let me look here in the chat. Michael says, let's get Chantelle wired. I'm going to very slowly consume the coffees that you guys have sent. Absolutely. It's like recording industry. Not all the songs are going to be first and not are going to be hits at first. Absolutely. And some songs are never hits, but a core audience loves them. So there's always that as well. The channel I hit YPP in October 22. In February, I was still averaging around 350 watch hours, but then it started rising. In September, I have over 600. Absolutely. Oh, it is way better than hugging a tripod or putting a phone in your shirt or putting the phone in your mouth or whatever. It's my first tutorial videos. I was using my Surface Pro webcam off the back and was reaching around trying to knit in front of the camera. It was painful. I wish I had had that then. I wish I had thought to put an affiliate link for that in my description, but I haven't yet. I'll put one in for the replay watchers. But yeah, it's like if you've got a pop socket, you can, like with the things that you do to try and get the shot, you know, it's the things. Doesn't always work. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's putting the phone in the mouth. Yeah. I didn't put the whole phone in my mouth. I put the pop socket in my mouth. You could just grab it and pop it in the chat. You're right. Hang on. Bear with live streaming friends. We're going to go to Amazon. I am going to go to the Amazon hang on. I gotta do some Tellison. Bear with. You guys are legends. Thank you for letting me do this. Copy link. And then go to Genius. Make a proper link for everybody. Takes a second. Genius Links always just takes that little bit of time, doesn't it? Anyway, I'll let that do its thing, but I will get it. Okay. And copy. And go back here, press paste. Oh, that didn't work. Delete, remove. Don't make me buy more stuff from Amazon. That's funny. There you go. There's a Genius link. This is an affiliate link, everybody. I will put the affiliate link with all the proper things in the description with all the Amazon wording to make sure it doesn't get any Amazon trouble, but it is an affiliate link that I have added in. So yeah, I like that. Thank you for explaining what I was doing. Absolutely. I was just grabbing a link to describe for a piece of equipment. Hopefully it works for everybody. If not, let me know. I can grab a US affiliate link separately if that's what you need. Where are we? Chantelle, Doug and Chantelle are the siblings you never had and always wanted. I think my brothers would disagree. It's one of those things. Wait, did I get paid for saying that link doesn't work? Yeah, it is. It's on. It's like it's so cheap. It's so cheap. If you're in Australia, it is on a limited deal. So if it's something that you would be interested in, it's definitely. If you need point of view shots, Justin Brown actually, he made me buy it. I used his affiliate link to buy it. And it was just like it was just phenomenal. He did like made a coffee, and then did the transition to walking along the beach, and it was beautiful. And he just had his phone in it. It was wonderful. So it was. It's not just like for creatives and crafters, which I think is phenomenal, but it's also for people who are outside and who just don't want to hold their phone. Justin influences a lot of things that I do, which is quite funny. So yeah, you put it in the cart for later. That is awesome. Yeah, keep an eye on what that sale is. Like, I'm not sure the conditions on the sale, so check it out, because I know you're in Australia, so you'll get the extra specials. Oh, it'd be great. I just can think of so many use cases that it would be super simple for, and it's not expensive. Like, that's the thing for me. I look at stuff and I'm not made of money. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm not made of money. When I decide to buy something, it needs to have like a solid purpose, right? So I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, that would mean that I didn't have to. I'll show you what I've got set up. Hang on. Headphones can't go that far. This is what I have, right? This is what I used to use to film my shorts. So it's a big heavy mic stand with a ball head mount with a little arm on it, with another mini ball head mount onto a phone thing, and I would have to set it up on the arm of the couch and make the videos, right? It did the job. It was made out of spares, bits and pieces of things that I already had here. It did the job. It was great. I saw that neck thing and just thought, oh my God, that's a game changer. Because this thing is quite heavy and I couldn't leave it set up anywhere. I'd have to put it up. Anyway, it was frustrating. John Pullum, it was great seeing you in the chat. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. It was really, really great to see you. And I'm like, I need to make myself one of those hats now. I bought pom-poms to make myself the hat. John and I were both guests on were you a guest on the live stream when you won? I'm not sure. We were on the same fundraising live stream for Owen Hemsath, and I donated a beanie that I had made, and John won it. So, yep. Oh, yes. Doug will see you at Bid Summit, along with everybody else at Bid Summit. How long has your channel been going? Excuse me, sorry. The Fiberific channel, so my original channel, it started in 2016. And this channel has been like on a slow back burner, but about, I want to say 12 months, might be a little longer. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a slow burner on this one. I get sidetracked by other work. So, but that's slowing down. So I will make sure I make more contents. But yeah, so Fiberific's been running now since 2016. Chantelle, are you having a case of FOMO for VidSummit? I'm having the worst case of FOMO for VidSummit, honestly. It was just, I really wanted to go this year. I really wanted to go. And I even got offered, like a friend of mine had a spare ticket and I got offered a free ticket and I still couldn't go. So I was just flawed. Flawed's probably the best word to use, flawed. So yeah, John said that he was a viewer and won a few things. You did. You had a cracker. It was great. I also love that you won the hat because I knew you'd wear it or you'd find someone to wear it. So yeah. And the bonus Tim Tams. I thought that was fun too. usually when I send something to the US, we've got like, it's the same price if I send 10 grams or 500 grams. So I always like shove in a packet of Tim Tams as well, just in case. So, you know, gotta get that weight balanced out. But yeah, Vid Summit, for those of you that don't know, Vid Summit is an event that's happening in the US next week. So unless you're in the US, it's probably a little late. And it is this amazing event for YouTube creators. It's not a fan event, although you could probably understand that some creators are fans of other creators. It's not an event for really non-creators unless they're planning on becoming a creator. Now, it's not an inexpensive event, but it is absolutely worth every cent that you spend. I'm assuming, I'm assuming because I've never made it, but everything I've watched, I've bought the virtual passes for about 5 years, and just what I get out of the virtual passes, I'm like, oh my God, now add on to that the conversations in the halls and meeting people, that would like be worth it. So for me, I wanted to meet a lot of people that I chat with online, and I actually wanted to hang out and talk with some of the people I do some work for. So, you know, all these things, but it wasn't meant to be. Maybe next year. How does one become part of VidSummit? You buy a ticket. You go to vidsummit.com and you purchase a ticket from their website. It's running October 3 to 5. So if you can be in Dallas, in Texas, in October 3 to 5, go and buy a ticket and go. Monique says that she can't wait for the replay to start. Yeah, I didn't do the replays this year. Because my FOMO is too much, so I've decided to step back at all. I did say purchase. It's something that I say. It's how I say. I know the word is purchase, but I always say purchase. Sorry, I forget sometimes that, you know, some of the things that I do usually don't translate to a new group. But yes, you should go in and purchase the things. Go and as Doug's put it here, click it and buy the ticket from Christina Smallhorn 2019. Absolutely, Christine's amazing. If you are new on this channel and you are looking for some more content, over a while, I want to say the last 12 months, but I was bringing in amazing guests each week, and Christina Smallhorn has been a guest, Doug has been a guest, Justin Brown's been a guest a couple of times. Viper's been a guest, Shelley Saves the Day. So there's all these really great interviews that are on the channel that you can check out and watch those. No, it's not an Australian thing. It's a me thing. It's just a me thing. I just make up random words that sound good. I do it all the time. And then, you know, pass it off as an Australian thing. But no, that one's a me thing. Guys, I'm actually going to call it, I think. I've had an absolute wonderful time. If you've got, like, we're calling last drinks. I don't have a last drinks thing. I was going to make one. I was looking for bell sounds and everything, and then went, like, that's a Doug thing. I'm not going to steal his thunder. But it is last drinks here. So if you want to jump in and pop in a live streaming or a YouTube question, throw it in. Oh, last call. Thank you. It's last call. Pop it in, grab a... you've got like a few minutes just to throw in your last question. I thought you needed to have an established YouTube channel to join it. No, you can, if you don't have a channel, you can go, but you're not going to get any value out of it unless you're planning on creating a channel. So there's no like fan meetings, there's no like meet and greets or anything like that. There's none of that is set up. This is all about business, and YouTube is a business. So it's great to see you, Amazing Yacht and the Game Widows. Catch us next time. I won't forget. I promise that I will put those in the community tab for sure. Don't worry. And I love this. Thank you, Monique, putting in the last drinks for us. I'm going to keep the cocktails off a bit longer. So yeah. So if you've got any more questions or anything else that you want to say, please drop it in the chat. I really do appreciate you all coming and hanging out and chatting with me this Saturday night. I appreciate Doug for joining me and being my super mod. And I didn't have to keep. I don't think you had to keep anyone in line. Did anyone get kicked out, Doug? I don't think so. I didn't see any naughty people here. Everyone was well behaved, mostly. So yeah, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of the video platforms. Oh, of course, VidSummit's not just YouTube. Absolutely, it's across the board for video platforms. Oh, it's a very interesting interesting point here. I'm betting on 18 to 24 watch hours for this live stream. That's very funny. I don't know. I don't know what it'll be. I can tell you what the average view duration is right now. It's been 28 minutes, so that's cool. I like that. But yeah, so what's Doug saying nope to? Doug, did I throw a question in there or something? I don't know. Possibly. Yeah. There's a lot of people that's going to be traveling over the next few weeks, either traveling to Vid Summit or traveling home from Vid Summit. There should be some really interesting Oh, you didn't kick anyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. So a lot of content that'll be coming out after Vid Summit of things that they've learnt. I would definitely be keeping an eye on Doug's channel, on Nick's channel, probably Roberto Blake's channel as well. Just trying to think who Daniel Patel's going to be there, so I'd keep an eye on his channel as well. He just put out a really interesting video with him and Liron Segev, so definitely go and check those out. But yeah, I really hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I really appreciate you joining in. Oh, Doug's written in here, look for some sneaky streams. Absolutely, because there'll be people who are going to live stream directly from Vid Summit. Are you planning on doing sneaky streams, Doug? Like, should we be looking out on your channel for sneaky streams, or just sneaky streams in general, like StreamYard and TubeBuddy and Nick? And because Nick's streams are going to be 12 hours after his usual streams, right? I think that's how Nick's are going to be next week. Is that right? I could be wrong. I don't know. So we'll see. Doug should do some sneaky conversations. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much, Michael. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the coffee as well. Thank you so much. A Doug and Nick duo. That would have been amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would keep that bell rung. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for jumping in. I really appreciate everybody, and I will grab that screenshot. I promise I'll go and pop it straight into the community tab. So go and check it out there. And I will catch you all. I'll catch you all later. Be good. Bye now.